Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, in our previous problem we saw the inspection based problem where there were two grades of inspectors, and now in this problem we will see the material to be purchased. Let's read the problem first and then we'll proceed further. A firm plans to purchase at least 200 quintals of scrap which contains two high quality materials. One is high quality material X and one is low quality material metal Y. It decides that the scrap to be purchased must contain at least 100 quintals of X metal and not more than 35 quintals of Y. Because Y is a low quality metal, they don't want high content of Y metal, they want more content of X metal. The firm can purchase the scrap from two suppliers A and B in unlimited quantity. You can purchase any quantity you want. There is no limit on the quantity to be purchased. The percentage of X and Y metals in terms of weight in the scrap supplied by A and B is given below. So we are given the how much material is available, how much metal is available in the material scrap that is supplied by A and B. In case of A जितना भी quantity हमको supply करेगा उसमें से 25% metal X निकलेगा और उसमें 10% metal Y निकलेगा. In case of supplier B 75% metal X निकलेगा और 20% metal Y निकलेगा. Now the question that might be arise that how come the total percentage is not 100? This is because this is a scrap. So out of scrap we are extracting metal X and metal Y. The remaining percentage will be the wastage that is not fetching any value. The price for A's scrap is 200 per quintal and that of B is 400 per quintal. So B का price almost double है, but उसमें metal X ज़्यादा मिलता है 75% और उसमें wastage कम होता है. In case of A का price is lower, but यहाँ पे wastage is very high. The firm wants to determine the quantities it should buy from the two suppliers so that the total cost is minimized. So now we have to decide how much quantity of which material or scrap I should buy from which particular supplier, and it should be purchased in such a manner that my total cost is minimized. Let's first try to put down the problem in a table format and then we will actually proceed to formulate it. Let's first draw the table. So let's first put down the problem in the table. I'll keep the suppliers A and B here in the column as given in the problem. And here is my metal X. Here is my metal Y. For metal X 25, 75. I'll note down 25%, 75%, and for metal Y it is 10 and 20. So 10% and 20%. Then we had a condition that at least 200 quintals of scrap should be purchased. That is the total scrap should be at least 200 quintals, and then it must contain at least 100 quintals of X and not more than 35 quintals of Y. X का metal आपको चाहिए at least 100 क्विंटल्स, क्योंकि X हाई क्वालिटी मटेरियल है, so we need minimum 100 quintals of metal X, जबकि metal Y is a low quality metal और material, तो उसका आपको not more than 35 quintals metal चाहिए. And what is the cost? Cost per quintal for supplier A, the cost is 200, and for supplier B the cost is double, 400. So 200 rupees, and for B it is 400 rupees. Now we'll work it out. We'll first make the assumption that we are buying x1 quintals from A and x2 quintals from B, and remember the total quantity should be at least 200 quintals. So first our basic assumption, let x1 quintals of scrap is purchased from supplier A and x2 quintals purchased from supplier B. This is my basic assumption. Now our objective function is to minimize the cost. So here is my objective function. Minimize the cost, comma Z. Now this cost will be 200 per quintal multiplied by x1 plus 400 per quintal multiplied by x2. So 200 x1 plus 400 x2 subject to, what are my constraints now? My first constraint is that I should buy at least 200 quintals, the total quantity I am going to buy. So my total quantity I am going to buy is x1 and x2. So x1 plus x2 is the total quantity of material I am going to buy. It should be at least 200 quintals, so it will be more than or equal to 200 quintals. Then there is constraint for metal X and metal Y. For metal X it is 25% of x1 plus 75% of x2 should be at least 100 quintals. So it should be 0.25% is 0.25 x1 plus 75% is 0.75 x2. Should be more than or equal to 100 quintals. For metal Y we have not more than 35 quintals, so 10% will be 0.10 and it will be 0.20. So it will be 0.10 into x1 plus 0.20 into x2. Not more than 35, so it should be less than or equal to 35. So 0.10 x1 plus 0.20 x2. 0.10 x1 plus 0.20 x2 less than or equal to 35. And now my final constraint, that is the non-negativity constraint, that is x1 more than equals to 0, x2 more than equal to 0. So problem was not that difficult, but it was quite unique and it was something new and totally unique for the students to understand for the first time. It was quite logical, and therefore sometimes the student might face the problem while solving such kind of problems in the exam. So with this the problem is done. Thanks for watching this video, and do subscribe to our channel Ekeeda.